My name is Dorothee Volkert, as you can see here. I'm working in Nuremberg in Germany at the university in Erlangen. And I had the honor and the pleasure to coordinate the Appetite project, which we will present today in detail. We will have 9 presentations today about the whole project, and each presentation will be about 15 minutes, and we will have time, 5 minutes time for discussion after each presentation. And I would like to invite you to ask your questions in the Q&A section of the Zoom program. Please write down your questions, and we will answer the questions in the discussions after each presentation. Oops. Appetite. It's not only me. We have been a large team, and you can see here the speakers of today, which are representative of the whole Appetite consortium, which were much more people who worked on the project. And I would like to take the opportunity to thank all partners, the whole team, all speakers for participating today. And it was a great pleasure to work together in the Appetite project. So thank you all for that enjoyable collaboration. I would also like to take the opportunity to thank JPI and all national funding agencies who enabled the project, and without whom the project would not have been possible. So thank you also to JPI and all funding agencies. Our partners in Appetite are from 6 countries, from these institutions, from Germany, Ireland, France, the Netherlands, UK, and Italy. And we also had industry on board, not a single company, but an industry association, Bridge to Food, who helped us to perform the project. Our partners are from very different disciplines who very well complement each other, from nutrition science to dietetics, biochemistry, epidemiology, to sports science and geriatrics, food technology. So we had a broad professional background, which was very helpful for the different tasks of our projects. As already mentioned, Appetite is part of the joint programming initiative JPI, A Healthy Diet for a Healthy Life, and was initiated based on the Prevenat call about development of targeted nutrition for prevention of undernutrition for older adults. Prevenat aimed to better understand how diet and physical activity can prevent undernutrition, and it also aimed to develop innovative food products as part of the projects. And Appetite, here you see the whole title, deals with plant protein, fiber products, and physical activity solutions to address poor appetite and prevent undernutrition in older adults. So the aims of Appetite were to contribute to the prevention of undernutrition by enhancing appetite. So our focus was on appetite. We aimed to develop innovative food products as requested, and our focus was on plant proteins and dietary fiber. And we did this for and together with older persons with poor appetite. And we then aim to examine the effects of selected products with and without physical activity on several outcome measures in older persons with poor appetite and at high risk of undernutrition. Why appetite? You all know that anorexia, impairments of appetite directly affect food intake and lead to a reduced food intake, beside many other factors also impairing food intake in older age. Low intake leads to malnutrition, and finally, negative health outcomes are resulting. And poor appetite is widespread in older persons. Even in community dwelling, healthy older people, about 1/4 is affected or reports a poor appetite. In the Manual Knowledge Hub, which was performed a few years before the Prevenat call, and was an important basis for our project, we identified poor appetite among a few other factors as a modifiable determinant of malnutrition of older adults in a systematic literature review. And we also created this DoMAP model in the Manual Knowledge Hub with all the determinants of malnutrition in aged persons. And here, poor appetite is also placed at a very central position. So poor appetite is really a relevant aspect in the development of malnutrition. And it has also been shown that it is independently associated with poor outcome, with disability, for example, and also with an increased risk of mortality. And finally, there is a lack of knowledge how to deal with poor appetite and effectively treat poor appetite in older persons. Why our focus on plant protein and dietary fiber? Here you can see the results of, I think, the only large study about dietary intake of old people with poor appetite compared to older persons with good or very good appetite. And this study, with more than 2,500 participants, found a poor dietary intake in people with poor appetite, and specifically poor protein intake, as you can see here, also poor intake of protein from vegetable sources, and also here reduced odds of an adequate fiber intake, fiber from all sources. And even people with good appetite compared to those with very good appetite had a reduced intake of protein and dietary fiber. So we have an inadequate intake of these nutrients in older people, not only in those with reduced appetite, but we have some hints that people with poor appetite are specifically affected also. But both nutrients have important physiological functions, as you all know. And why plant proteins? We all know that animal proteins have a higher biological value, but plant proteins are environmentally much more sustainable. They are regionally available, which is also an advantage. They are affordable generally, and they are generally well accepted also by older adults. We will see that in detail later. This brings me back to the Appetite Project and our project design, where we have the balance between physical activity and nutrition in the focus. And nutrition represented by the plant-based protein fiber food products as part of a personalized, optimized diet. And these products were developed in one of our work packages, work package 2. And in work package 1, we communicated with consumers, identified consumer preferences and attitudes regarding plant-based protein fiber products. And we also used this consumer information to shape our intervention. In work package 2, we also examined acceptability of the new food products by older consumers. In work package 3, the effects of physical activity and our nutritional intervention on biochemical and metabolic parameters was examined. And finally, in work package 4, which was the central project, I would say, of our appetite project, we performed a human intervention study to examine the effects of these interventions on appetite and several other outcomes. So this is the appetite project. If you are interested in more details about appetite, you can read this in our study paper, which was published in 2021 already. And you also find a lot of information about the project at our appetite website. So this was my short introduction about the background of appetite, which is a key driver of food intake, and we don't know much about effective interventions. And we focus on protein and dietary fiber because there's a low intake, but these are very important nutrients, and plant proteins specifically have several advantages which should be better examined and used. So thank you for your attention. And you can see here the agenda of today with our 4 work packages, where the results will be presented in several lectures. And we directly continue with work package 1, understanding the older consumer with poor appetite.